This is an absolute horse's pube of a guitar. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo. It's good to have you along. Today I'm going to see if I can change this from being an absolute hill of excrement to something that's worth having, at least for someone. It's so bad that the wood of this guitar makes it out of tune. No, it's just out of tune. But it was in tune when I bought it. Oh. So what is this? It's a Marwell that I've reviewed on the channel previously, and it's pretty much a train wreck of a guitar, although it does have some redeeming qualities. Wilkinson pickups, Wilkinson tuners. Don't know if the bridge is Wilkinson. And I'm going to try and save this in a way that any one of you should be able to do, provided you have at least some tools at your disposal. And it might be that it'll just still be a train wreck, who knows. So I'm going to get it over to the bench and start doing whatever it is I do over at the bench. Right, so here we are with this absolute dog turd of a guitar. So let's start by doing some measurements with the action, what the action is like. Yes, 2.86 on the low E, 2.23 on the high E. That's not good. Maybe I'll check the nut as well, just out of curiosity. I don't have the nut files to do anything to that, but still. 0.8 for 0.83 on the high E. Maybe not the best. I forget what they were supposed to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the strings because I'm going to put new strings on. I'm going to check how the trem is set up. I think I've set it up so it does roughly have one whole step on the G string, under tension, just to get everyone completely angry on the internet. That's what people on the internet do best, get angry. So I normally use 9 to 46 strings, so I have slightly heavier bottom end and a slightly lighter high end. I don't know what these strings were. I bought this ages ago from eBay, did a video on it, and I didn't even fancy selling it because it's just so poor. I'm gonna see if I can manage to kind of salvage it and maybe donate it to someone, because it's still, I mean, it's not the best guitar out there, but we can still learn on it. I mean, you can especially do chords and stuff, even if it's absolute donkey poo. Oh no, I have the back plate on. Remove the back plate. This is going to be interesting YouTube content. Cut cameras here. So the back plate is usually the first thing I take off a guitar. I think I took it off this guitar. Well, I've had to, but I put it back on for some reason. Strings look like D'Addarios. Paul would be happy. Paul loves everything D'Addario because he's sponsored by D'Addario. I'm not. So, first things first, check the frets, but we have to get the neck level to do that. I have a Harley Benton notch straight edge, which isn't straight, and that's a bit of a problem. At least if you don't know how much not straight it is. I happen to know that it's 0.06 not straight. You have to get the neck dead straight to check the frets. This is not straight. Comes with a bit of bow. Yeah, plenty of clearance. We have clearance, Clarence. that looks a bit better. I might have overdone it just a bit. Just a wee turn. There you go. Better? Is it better? Still a bit meh. Another wee turn. There you go. That should do it. So, let's see with the rocker. The way I do this, I have a non-permanent marker or a whiteboard marker where I mark down all the frets that are sticking up. Tiny rocks. They're not too big, these. I can't remember if I've done anything to this, probably not. The point with this, getting the frets absolutely spot on even, is that you can get the action lower. I use a fairly high action, at least compared to some. I think I have 2 mil on some of my strats, and that's fairly high. Normally when I set up guitars, I set them up so that they're 1.8 is fine. I'll go over this again once I've done this, just to make sure. I'm hoping that tapping them down will do the trick. I hope I don't have to take out leveling beam. I do have one, but I've never used it. And I don't fancy starting now. Although this would be the perfect guitar to practice on, because it's not great. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frets that need some kind of attention. Let's see if we try hammering it down. Did that do it? Voila, that's great. The thing with this is when you do this and you leave it, some of these are going to pop back out again in X amount of time. This is the great thing with non or a whiteboard marker. You can just wipe it off, like so. The fret ends, maybe a bit rough. Do something about those. So I borrowed this from my luthier friend. They cost a fair bit. Do I actually need to? Let's see. It's not great, but it's not too bad, considering the price of this. These frets look pretty tiny as well, so having to file them down, not a lot of room to do anything. Yeah, that's better. Take a bit of 320 and yeah, that's better. Much nicer. Do the same to this side. Yeah, that's better. Seems this is turning out to be easier than I thought. Then let's check the trem. because this looks... So the way I set up a Strat Tram, and I think everyone who knows what they're doing, I don't, but I just copied what people who know what they're doing are doing, is you turn in the screws here all the way to the bottom, and then you turn back just a quarter of a step. And that should be roughly about it. Then we put on the strings, and then we start setting it up. I'm using Ernie Ball Slinkies. What are these, custom Slinkies? Something like that. 9-46. I just use regular strings. I don't use coated strings. Don't care about that. Tuners were fine. It has the string trees, which aren't great, but yeah. You've probably seen people put on fresh strings enough, so maybe we'll just skip this bit. But I'll show you how I wind the string there to improve tuning stability, so you don't need actual locking tuners. Locking tuners do absolutely nothing for me. Alright, so the way I do this is string through the tuning peg, like you normally would, but then I turn it back around the tuning peg on the underside. In this case, depends upon which way the strings go, but pull it under the string and wedge it so that when I tune up, it's wedged between the string itself and the tuning peg. That means it can't slip. You don't have to do it for the wound strings. I don't do it for the wound strings, but for the unwound strings, it's a good little tip. And we tune her up, and then we see what the neck is like again. Because we've been mucking about with it. Just get it in the ballpark, kind of. Stretch the strings, that helps it stay in tune when you play. And tune again. Might have been 9-46 is on this. Anyway, we'll see what the neck looks like now. Can I get a 0.2 under there? Yes, quite a bit of relief. So we have to tighten. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Can't get a 0.2 under there. Just a bit of relief. A queef, as Paul would say. I think he does even less than I do, but it should be monumentally better. Let's see what the action is like now. Is it still the same story here? It should be the same story here. Nope, 0.7, 0.8, yeah, it's pretty much the same one. But let's see. The actual action. 2.39. Jesus H. 1.74. What has happened? Let's do this one again. 2.31. Okay, let's get it down to 1.8. And of course this Allen key won't fit. Yes, it will. $1.87. Just a weensy bit more. 1.83. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. And let's do 1.6 on the high E. Uh, 1.62. That's good. Enough for me. I wonder what the radius of this was. I absolutely completely forgot to check while I had the strings off. Guessing 12 maybe? 12-inch radius maybe? 12-inch. Please won't you just stay there? Yeah, 12 inches, that's what it is. Don't think it's a compound anyway, because it's so cheap. They'll just have done whatever bare minimum they could. 12 inches. It was in tune when I bought it. I think we'll take it over to the amp and try it. Right, so here we are with this absolute dog turd of a guitar, or at least it was. So is it like that now? Let's see with some sounds. See with sounds. I've dialed back on the treble on the amp because these are kind of general, standard, generic Strat pickups and they're a bit bright, so yeah, I've dialed back on the treble, like I said. It's out of tune. What we say? It was in tune when I bought it. Yes, let's go on. My playing is all over the place. These springs really came. These are really best before yesterday. Bit like me. Alright, so one more thing to do before we give a verdict, and it's the whammy bar test. Let's just do a regular kind of thing first. Pretty much, not entirely. Yes, the B string had gone slightly awry, as had the G string. G string. Yes, lots of these have gone slightly awry, even with moderate whammy bar use. Yes. Well, not entirely, but what do you expect from something like this, which only costs... I forget what it cost. I'll put something in the subtitles. But it's no longer a terrible guitar. And the moral of the story is just a bit of setup knowledge and some tools can get you so far. It's absolutely... I mean, you can turn any guitar as long as it doesn't have real issues like a warped neck or something like that. You can get a decent guitar out of basically anything, almost. At least you can make anything way better than it is when it arrives in a box from somewhere or other. So, really interesting to see how this did. Now I can donate it to someone because it isn't absolute horse pubes. A couple of things that might have helped, like I said, changing the springs to something better might help it staying in tune. Lubing the nut might help. This is probably mother of toilet seat, but still lubing it might help a bit. Changing the string trees to roller string trees, I don't know if that makes a difference. Lubing the string trees might help. But yeah, it's not a complete waste of space anymore. It's a decent enough guitar. The neck feels a bit weird somehow. Again, some of these feel like they're slightly chunkier on the top side than on the bottom side, and that's strange. But this is fine. If you want to check out my Guitar Academy, where I teach basically everything I know about guitar playing, including setup, but there's a big section of it is dedicated to how to practice and the whole mental side of that, because I think that's way underrepresented everywhere. There's a link in the description. You can check that out, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk for you. If you want to watch my original video of this guitar, that's here. But above all, I hope you had some use of this and enjoyed it. And I hope you have a nice day. Be kind to each other. Take care. Goodbye.